Now, I'm going to pause there and kind of rewind a little bit. So, I did an episode last season, episode number 326, just after I completed I don't know, mental challenge, physical challenge, which was 75 hard. And that challenge, which you may be familiar with, if not, essentially there's like half a dozen things or so that you do every single day consistently, including drinking a gallon of water and two 45-minute workouts. And one of them has to be outside. And you take a selfie or a picture of yourself every day. You read a book and you abstain from alcohol and you stick to a diet. So some might think, oh, this is like a diet. It's like a health challenge. And truly, while I did lose weight, the actual real challenge was sticking to it every day, because the thing about whole 75 hard is that you actually have to start over from the beginning if you fail on one of those tasks. And so for me, I was like, listen, I just did whole 30. I could do another 30-day challenge, but 75 is a little bit bonkers. But what I found surprising is that since I had already been in the habit of 30 days of living in a certain lifestyle, it was just like a little bit more for me. And what I also found to be interesting is that initially I thought my 45-minute workouts had to be these like crazy strenuous things. But what I end up doing is modifying so that one of my workouts was gentle yoga or stretching or a walk. And it wasn't like this intensive like weight training situation. And it actually worked really well. And I found my body really craving those things, even beyond that challenge. And I think that's what really planted the seed for what I'm about to share. Because ultimately, we need sometimes that like kick in the pants, that little bit of a reset. We know what we should be doing, but we don't always do it. And I want to talk about this a little bit more next week about habits, about the healthy habits that we want and the unhealthy habits that we have. So kind of like the difference between your conscious habits and your unconscious habits. So we'll talk about that next podcast. But for the sake of this, I want to talk about, creating these new habits, these new routines, because you get that little bit of a push. So specifically, what I'm referring to is I've loved, and I mean love, love, love. I did it 5 times, Intuition Week. I have loved doing Intuition Week 5 times with you. In last September, I retired it. It was the last time I've done it. And I stopped doing it because it was a labor of love. I loved, loved, loved doing it, but holding the space leading up to it, the Facebook group, the engagement, usually after that launch was over, I was exhausted. And specifically that last September, it really did a number on me energetically. It was like weeks before I started to feel back like myself again. And so I realized for a while that it wasn't a sustainable method of launching for me, even though it was highly successful. It was a lot for my system.